So I just landed in Italy a few days ago, and I'm going to be setting off tomorrow to cycle all the southern regions. I've just done a shop today, and this is all the stuff that I generally bring with me when I set off. And you know, as you go on, you know, stuff whittles down, and then you have to keep buying and replenishing supplies. But of course, it just takes a big mixture as you go along. So I'll just run you through this. I love having porridge in the morning, so I always go for, you know, some kind of granola with, you know, oats. So I'll cook the oats with water and then put the granola in for some extra taste. And then along with that, got to have some salt for the porridge. And then peanut butter as well. You know, it's quite heavy, it's in a glass jar, but I love peanut butter. And it's a good way of getting like calories in. It's very dense. Then bananas. So these disappear very quickly. So, you know, I'm happy if I have one in the morning for some porridge, because it does make a difference. I'll sometimes have some jam, but you know, too much glass stuff is, it's a bit too heavy. So that's kind of like the morning porridge setup. And moving on to like snacks for the road. So got kind of like a nut mix here, and I got an extra one in my bag, and then just some kind of like cheap fruit bars, you know, 6 for kind of like €1.50 kind of thing. Those are from Cry, so that's quite good. I couldn't resist. I bought a Ritter's Sport already, and I've already eaten half, so that's not a good start, but you know, I can eat the other half tomorrow when I'm on the road. Napkins, so it's, you know, it's such a mess when you're out there like on the road cooking, using the moka pot, and you know, you always need napkins because, you know, to clean stuff and dry it, and then, you know, to store it away as well, and also while you're eating. So moving on to kind of like the main meals. So for like dinner, a bit more substantial. So I got some dried soup. So vegetable, and we got, what's this, carciofi, which is artichoke, and then porcini, so mushroom. Then for some protein, got some tuna. So 3 small cans here. It's in a plastic bag because I end up putting everything in its own plastic bag because stuff just gets wet, no matter if it's in a waterproof bag or not. And then some tortillas as well, you know, they pack down nice and light, and you know, they're very soft, and I like the taste of them, to be honest. So just getting back on that to the bag I put them in. So I put them on my handlebar bag, which sits out the front, and this is the one I took with me first time. It's an Alpkit bag, and it's 13 liters. So this did quite well with me on the first trip, and you know, 13 liters is quite a lot of space to get on the front. So I decided to go again and buy another one because this one got a few holes in it. I stored some stuff in there like that was quite sharp, like the front of this moka pot, you know, it's quite pointy there. So that was like poking through at some point, and you know, thorns and just anything. And this is kind of like the first to go because the material isn't that strong, but it is waterproof. And it's very cheap anyway. So I got another one for just £11, and I'm just going to be using this for this round. Twice usually does the charm for kind of like a sack like this, and then I just start, you know, putting stuff in. So for the coffee setup on the road, I had the idea of kind of trying different coffees as I went along. You know, if local places made their own kind of roast and stuff, I would buy it. So as a default, I just got the Vata decaf and the small moka pot here. I think it does 3 shots, this one. Had to go for the colors, of course. So the reason I go for decaf, a lot of people ask me this, is because in Italy, you know, coffee's not that hard to come by, and a cappuccino will only set you back like €1.50. So I end up having 3 or 4 a day, and the last thing I need is more caffeine in the morning or the evening when I make one myself. So it's just a way of limiting that because, yeah, it's just so cheap and just so accessible here. So I put these in their own plastic bags because, you know, coffee gets everywhere and you don't want it getting wet before you even put it in the pot. So yeah, all this stuff just goes in its own bag. So that's pretty much packed up nicely there. The rest of the stuff, like these will go in my back pockets. This will go in my pannier bag, same as this because it's quite flat. And then this stuff will just kind of go in my quick accessible, you know, front bags that I can just unzip while I'm riding. And for water, so I got 2 1.5 litre Nalgene's, so we got 3 litres there. And then these are about 800 each. So that's 4.6. And then this one, just around, I think it's around 500, 600 litres. So we're just over 5 litres. And these go on the well, almost dropped that. These go on the front forks, and then these go handlebar, and then in the frame, and then this goes on the bottom of the frame, you know, just by the pedals in the bottom bracket. So pretty good setup for water. You know, it's always nice just kind of having a full day's supply, especially if you're going to go out camping. And then for cooking wise, so we got some gas here, and then just some cooking pots as well. So we got the fire starter, so this is just kind of like the attachment that goes onto the stove. You know, I got it on Amazon, this one. It's called like Fire Maple, I think. Works pretty well. This one is a screw-on, so you've got to make sure you get the right canister of gas for this, because you have ones that just pop in, and then this one screws. So you just got to make sure you get the right one. So we got a lighter, you know, one with a stem. That's just a bit easier to light it away. You know, napkin, can never get enough of those. And I just got 2 pots in here. So one I usually use for like drinks, and then the other one for like the soups and the porridge. And I got a cozy here I made with just kind of like a, you know, like that foil kind of sheet that you get that goes in the car to prevent condensation and stuff, or to prevent heat kind of zapping your dash. You know, you can just make it out of one of those. It's very cheap. So yeah, that's pretty much everything for cooking. Probably a few things I'm missing, and I'll pick it up along the way, but that's kind of like the general setup that I'd have, you know, when I set off. It's very heavy, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm definitely not an efficient packer, and I don't mind kind of having a lot of weight in my setup. You know, I might regret that at some point, but you know, it's gone fine for me the first trip I did. And yeah, you definitely find your groove when you go out there. You can over-plan things too much, and you know, you just need to go out there and kind of refine it as you go along. It's just the best way to do it. Heading off tomorrow, it's going to be good. But the first week doesn't look like it'll be that kind to me, you know. I think it's raining every other day and quite heavy as well. So we'll just see how that gets on. I kind of have a timeline that I need to follow, because my parents are going to be in Sicily mid-April. So I'm going to try and meet them there. The plan is to head to Treviso first, just kind of like a flying visit, and then to Padova, and then south all the way to San Marino, and then just keep going and see where I get to. But yeah, nice. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Ciao.